I don't know what you want to call it, critical thinking,
and
philosophy, theory, or controversy, or
and that, well, and that concept of a time machine is not new. It's been around for years and years and years. I mean, just the most recent one, and what I mean by recent is in school, if you took some type of literature class or English class, which of course is boring, nobody wants to, so maybe not everybody came across it, but in 1895, there was a science fiction author by the name of H.G. Wells who wrote a book called The Time Machine. That was over 100 years ago.
They made a movie on that one too.
Yeah, they made several times, right?
Yes. So you were right. Like all the English class or some sort of literacies.
Or comic book. Maybe you read it in a comic book.
But then I personally took art history.
Art history?
Yes. And if we're looking back at those arts, no matter if it's like Christian arts, they already have signs. Remember, there's an art with a older version. I mean, an older man and a younger man touching their finger from Rome.
Yeah.
Rome, yeah. So, see, that's a sign. So, if you remember the picture, the older person, I say version. I slip.
Okay.
Now I look at it, it's the older self, maybe from the future or from the past. Try to connect with the same person, the younger self. You see, one is on the sky, one is lower, and again frequency. Have different.
You had that
different
higher and lower, and I know in
different waves.
In a previous talk we had before this one, we spoke about, I believe, was it Alice in Wonderland who fell through the hole, right?
Yes.
So she went from higher to lower.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. So,
but it doesn't mean higher or lower. It's just a different frequency or a different dimension, even.
Let's say if I say those UFO travel in a wave of frequency, that's why it zigzag and disappear so fast. But if it materialize, become as from what we understanding, then it's become a dimension realm.
Okay.
So I don't know about Alice.
Yeah, we have to dig deeper into that. You're probably onto something. But I was thinking about something not more recent, but not real recent. But a lot of people are getting into the comic book stage again, like we were just mentioning Loki and Marvel. Those comic books were, over 50 years ago. And now they're making into movies where people who are 10 years old, like you mentioned, they're dressing up as the superhero characters during Halloween.
Right.
Right? From something that was written 50 years ago under a comic book.
Yeah.
Marvel or DC Comics, and then of course there's other comic books that didn't last as long as they did. But another show that reminded me of time travel was Doctor Who, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was about and then what was the other one too that was made?
The one really made me curious is Back to
the Future in the 80s, right? That was a funny movie with Michael J. Fox, and that was a time machine, and they used a car, but still. Yeah.
If you really think about it, the way they have that car is like the Tesla right now.
Right. What's the name of the character? Marty McFly, right?
Hey, do you know Elon Musk put a Tesla fly into space?
Well, it's his company. I think he can do that, right? But why did he do that? Just so he can go back to the future?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, there's a lot of things can. There's a lot of branch we can go out from this point. But
That's true.
we will
Let's bring it
continue
back.
our future branching out different
Yeah,
episodes.
let's not
But,
go too fast. Okay.
but I wanna ask you a question. So
Yes.
all those comic book, Matrix movie, uh, or even those shifts, the arts, like I said, history of art, Shakespeare. Do you so back to the question, the egg first or chicken first? Do you think we create where we are right now is based on those materials and that's why we got here, or the other way around?
Hmm. That's a very good question. I'd like to go ahead and answer that with a question of my own.
Okay.
There's another, you mentioned Nostradamus as
Mhm,
telling the future with the Black Mirror. But how
mhm.
about that show, The Simpsons, where you can go back and several of those episodes, and one in fact, where they mentioned Donald Trump becoming president.
Yeah, I think it's
So who
now.
who who was it? Who was first? Was it
I,
The
I
Simpsons, or was it the future? Or
Yes,
right?
I'm gonna use your own word for this one. I think if we don't think one linear, then we can. I think it's infinity. It's a loop. So there's no end, no begin. So Notre Dame, based on Thor's canon, she was saying she's feeding him information, but he is the one writing the code, right?
And she's somebody from the present right now, right?
Right.
And
So
Nostradamus
so
lived
so
hundreds of
so
years ago.
right. So if this is, if you believe it or not, no, not you, but I'm talking to the audience. If the
Yeah,
audience you believe it or not, but for me, I believe it. So you can see who feeds who, like
I'll have to find a clip.
so.
There's
Yeah,
a clip. There's a clip
there's the
that
clip for that.
no, there's another clip we're mentioning it. I'm sure there is a clip on that one. Maybe you have it, but it has to do with the time machine. There's a clip I came across, and sometimes I just let a channel play, and whatever comes on comes on.
Yeah,
I have no control over it, but then I'll hear something. But if I'm in the middle of something, I cannot stop.
it's okay.
There was one where this person
Uh-huh.
developed a time machine,
Mm-hmm.
a little box, maybe the size of a iPad,
Mm-hmm.
and the person interviewed him, asked him, "How did you invent this?" Because the person never went to college,
Mm-hmm.
never took classes,
Mm-hmm.
but he was told it all came to him in a dream.
Mm. Yes.
And maybe he could have been talking to somebody from the past,
Mm-hmm.
like let's mention his name,
Yeah.
Nikolai Tesla level,
Yeah.
so intelligent
Yes.
that things just popped into his mind.
Right. Exactly.
But it
So
didn't pop into his mind. Somebody was telling him who, I don't know.
that's what happened to all the, including um, Albert Einstein.
Mm.
It's like somebody told me, somebody sent me the information. And Elon Musk, I kind of read and studied his bio. He said when he's very young, like a little boy, he thought every human being, every his friends, family is like himself, receiving information. His brain is always has some information, even when he's little. But later on, he grew up. He said he realized he was the only one keep getting those information.